engineer for Orange Amplification, and I am here today to announce the brand new Marcus King MK Ultra Signature Amplifier. This is the first amp that we've designed and built in the United States. And I had the pleasure of working with Marcus on the design of this amplifier. The MK Ultra represents a marriage of vintage American and British tonalities due to its cathode-biased 6L6 output stage that delivers all the touch sensitivity and dynamics that Marcus demands. It features custom Heyboer transformers and is entirely hand-built and hand-wired. This is a completely unique design that offers a new approach to the classic Orange sound. This circuit design uses EQ in different parts of the circuit. They're not interactive or affected by each other, and their ranges are tailored specifically for Marcus. With this design, it's impossible to dial in a bad sound. The EQ is tailored in such a way that it's just going to give you subtle shades of whatever guitar you're plugging into. The amp also has a very carefully tuned input section that not only responds well to volume and tone settings, but also takes pedals extremely well, molding them into the tone instead of sitting on top and sounding disconnected from the amplifier. While this is a signature model, players from all genres will be able to dial in a tone that will work for their situation. From country to blues, classic rock to jazz fusion, and everything in between. The range of this three-knob design has to be heard to be believed. With this design and your guitar's volume controls, you can get a plethora of different sounds. I'm going to kind of run through the controls real quick and give you an idea of their ranges and what you can get out of the amplifier. The sing control it's the treble control, but I want you to think of it as more of like a variable input bright control. It doesn't have a ton of range. It's really there just to kind of dial in for the venue and the guitar you're playing. I'm going to start with the amp relatively clean, about 9 o'clock on the volume control, and sweep the EQ so you can hear what they do. Starting with the sing control off. Moving it to about halfway. And all the way up. Notice that as I adjust the treble control, the bass is not affected at all because they are in separate points in the signal path. Next, we have the volume control. And like the name says, it controls volume, but it does so much more than that. This is really as big of a tone control as any other one on the amplifier. With it being a cathode biased amp, the amp is very urgent and fast at low volume settings and takes pedals great. As you increase the volume knob, you're going to get more saturation, and the 6L6s are going to start breaking up and sweeten up, giving you almost a spongy attack that is so fun to play. Even at full volume, it still retains incredible control via your guitar volume. lastly, we have the deep knob. Think of this as more of an overall thickening to the sound. You should actually start dialing the amp in with the deep control all the way off. As you find the volume level that you want that suits your playing situation, then increase the deep until you have the fullness that you want. As you can see, even with all the knobs on 10, the sound is still musical and still responds to your playing dynamics and volume and tone and pickup selection.